I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for this season that we are upon. Father, be with us as we do the business of Mills County. Guide and direct us in all our actions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, today's December 11th. We have a quorum. Four commissioners, myself are here. Number two, review and act on minutes of November 27th and December 1st, 2023. Commissioners, y'all go through your minutes. Any changes?
Sonia, on December 1st. Number 4, third sentence down, it says, Melissa account. Does that need to be corrected?
Where are you saying? What number?
4.
Uh-huh.
Third line. Says funds are made for the Conversa account.
Okay.
I think that's supposed to be commissary.
Commissary account.
And then it says it down about another halfway down,
Got it.
just the wrong,
Yep.
that's it.
Okay, thank you.
And there was like a motion that we approve the minutes for November the 27th and December the 1st.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the minutes of November 27th and December the 1st. Second by Commissioner Ryan. Any other comments or discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes of November 27th and December 1st, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 3, audience is individuals. No one has signed up apparently. We'll move on to number 4, review and act on account payables.
I have several questions. One of them Mike just cleared up on the shared equipment account. Any other word?
It's, yes,
Okay.
it's KW. I said Freightliner on the bill, but it's not. It was the KW.
On Mike's,
Page 4. What's your second?
yeah,
Maybe the same question I have.
it, was, tire disposal. Disposal.
Yes, I bought a set of tires for my pickup from S&S, and he charged the 103 for disposal of the tires when he changed them out.
Tire.
That's what he charged. He kept the 4 tires that I had changed out, and that's his charge.
What it's supposed to be.
I didn't think it's $20 for disposal.
The way you dispose them is different, but let me look.
There's one says $8 and then one 103.25.
The $8 was off the service vehicle, where you run a tire on it. And I think probably instead of a tire disposable, we bought a second-hand tire for the service truck, and that could be the, instead of tire disposable.
Sometimes my system will throw in like, it was saved the last time it was used.
Just an item.
Yeah, I actually noticed it too, because if it's $8, that means you'd have
$32.
$32 on tire disposal.
I can, last time I can get a clarification on that. Dale told me to from S&S, but I'm pretty sure what that was is that I know one tire was running. And the other tires, it's probably the second-hand tire, the 103, instead of a tire disposable, is probably
I might have been on the way, I didn't know they charged $8.
get rid of the tire. I can find out for you.
I'm trying to find out.
I have one, and this may be I don't know if Melissa will know this or if, Summer will know this, but on the sheriff's department, page 10, mileage for Goldsmith Solutions.
So we get one free day,
Okay,
one no charge day a month.
and so this was an
And
extra.
it's $310 a day. So
So it's just putting in the mileage, so that's what I was.
it's a day trip. What, in our contract, it says daily trip fee.
Another one on page 12, that's Integrity One Solutions, that's courthouse doors.
Courthouse doors. And I've got when we get to it, consent agenda, I'll give an update on that. The doors.
I don't think that needs to be played.
I've got some information on that commissioner report and about what all we've paid to them today, which, and I agree with your assessment there on some of that. There's just a few more things in life. And, Guy Burns is out today, but I do have this updated consent agenda from this week.
Okay, to clear up the S&S, one is a tire disposal, the other one is a purchase of a tire. A used tire, like Mike said.
That makes one sense.
But I still think Integrity One Solutions, I don't think nothing could be paid. I don't know.
Let me go ahead and read this. This applies to the accounts payable from Guy Burns. This is as of Saturday, Sunday. Guy was at Purdue work. So this is Integrity One Solutions that's near the completion of the new courthouse entrance doors, but there remain some issues to be addressed. One, weather stripping for the vertical center between the doors did not fit as designed. New surface mounting and weather stripping has been ordered for all 4 door entrances. Two, weather stripping around the inside top and one side of the north entrance door has not been installed. Not sure if this was an oversight by the installers, they ran out of material. 3, the silicone sealing job on all 4 door thresholds will need to be redone. It does not meet the quality standards. And he surmises the last part of the installation crew is aware of these issues, and they have assured me that all will be resolved to the county's satisfaction. I have not received a date for completion yet, though. Now, here's the figures you're interested in, Commissioner Report, the contract amount, and we're all interested in. Contract amount for the doors was $34,354. The invoice billing so far is $23,653. Outstanding that we owe them as of, I guess, this weekend is $10,701. Now, I'm not sure what part of that was in accounts payable we did.
What is the 2,500 then?
That was, the guy has that information, he brought it to my desk, it was just for another payment for something they've done, I can't remember what it was.
Hardware, it's the hardware for the doors.
Yeah, hardware, that's right. So we still, as of this weekend, owe them $10,701, which I agree, we don't need to pay that. They had contacted, I think, the county treasurer's office about one of those outstanding invoices, was that correct, Summer? Guy was telling me something, maybe, you got that from them or something, I don't
You
need
good with paying the 2,500 then?
If we
still owe money?
Yeah.
We still owe.
Yeah, are you good with that then, paying that 25, because we still $10,701.
Well, you'd only owe 7,500.
7,500.
What else?
You'd only owe like
That was
7.
7,500. Okay,
2,500 is different from, is separate from this contract, is my understanding, the hardware was not included. That's my understanding of it. And I'm not sure that it's even coming from Integrity.
guy is out to a doctor's appointment today, and I hate to bother him on the phone right now. I will reach out to him later.
My line is pretty good, that's not making pretty good.
Well, we got another commissioner's court meeting Monday, commissioner report, and that's fine with me, you can wait and get more information. Okay,
You gonna make that a motion then?
I'll make a motion that we approve the account payable with the exception of the Integrity Solutions $1,000.
I'll second.
okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Porton, to approve accounts payables except the Integrity One for $2,500. Seconded by Commissioner Williams. Any other comments or discussion? Okay, all those approving of paying the accounts payable except that one invoice for Integrity One, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, ayes have it. That was accounts payable. Now we'll move on down to consent agenda. You'll see commissioners in your packet. Other information about the courthouse doors, EMS station, law enforcement center, 1888 jail, and old EMS station. You can see where Sun Drake has put the bumper post up at the new EMS station. Concrete was all poured last week by Buster Taylor,
Monday.
Monday.
And also, if you look at, make note of the Hamilton EMS. There is a lot of business there, a lot of calls.
We talking about the service calls? Yeah. Yeah. That's a bunch.
Around 50 somewhere, give or take. 86.
Yeah, it's a good bunch.
Seems like a lot of people are going to Hendricks too, instead of Hamilton Hospital.
One other thing I'll add on the new EMS station, flagpole, future flagpole, I talked to the owners, of an old feed store. About the flagpole I put in there many years ago, and they said they might be interested in donating that. I told Commissioner Head told the best way to take care of that is to cut it off the base. So I'll keep following up on a possible flagpole on the north side of the EMS station. We also got to consider doing a fire bed sometime, whenever the time permits, for all the commissioners to help on that.
Yeah, and we'll need to, where they pour their forms out from the cement, there's a little bit of. Gap there that we'll need to put some stuff in so that they can use it.
And guys been working on that.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm working on the sheriff's office, so I'll talk to you about it in my report, when we
Okay.
get to the reports.
Okay,
You know, the sheriff's department's 10 different from the EMS also. Sheriff's department call out and the EMS call out is 10 different.
okay. Any other comments or questions on consent agenda, gentlemen?
Make a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the consent agenda. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving down to action agenda. Number 4, consider an act on burn ban. I have not talked to any of the fire chiefs this last week. I did know there was one house fire last week, west of town. And as far as I know, that's been the only fire in the county. Is that true? Have y'all heard anything?
We had one small grass fire.
Small grass fire. It's getting drier. We do have a chance of rain Thursday or Friday. I would be inclined to, and we're gonna have another commissioners court next week, but I'd be inclined just to, no action taken on this.
I don't know what our deadline is, but if we're gonna do something for fireworks.
I think it's-
that deadline for fireworks already, it may already been.
I think it's already passed. I think that's back. Holly, do you know when that is? I think it's in November sometime. I think it's like a month or so before. Yeah.
Probably already missed it.
Yeah, I think we already missed it. Be careful shooting your fireworks. Yeah, good cause fire, yeah, that's right. So, anyway, any other comments on the burn ban?
No.
Okay, I'd say, we take no action on that. Number 5, consider an act on Genesis E-bonds licensing and service provider agreement for the law enforcement center. I visited with, several people. I've been visiting Amanda about this deal, Melissa, Sheriff Poole. and I can talk to Sonia about this. The main deal about this thing, it should streamline our services on the bonds and whatnot, possibly reduce liability. Amanda, did you have anything else you want to talk about? I talked to, again, Crystal Head of, Head's bail bonds. She thought it was a good deal to move forward. I did reach out to Chris Owens out Brady. He was still checking on some stuff. But if it's, under the recommendation of the sheriff's department, and they're all good with it. And we also, I think we have Steve on E-bond. Steve, can you hear me?
The only thing.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge. Yes, sir. I'm here.
I was told, Amanda, I asked that question, you want to come up, Amanda?
I don't know anything about it. I can't handle it.
I remember I asked you about the treasurer, you said this would be just like the.
You're gonna write a check from your office tonight?
Steve could probably better explain it. It's a deposit.
To which account?
That would be a discussion of what accounting you want it to go to. That would be something that wants to kind of, where would you like it to be? And then whenever one's posted a bond, we can then write a receipt out. And I can send you that receipt. Just put it back.
And if the receipt doesn't match the deposit, you're just gonna fix it.
Deposit.
So when something batches down in the tape in the night, it might not match what you bonded out during the day. There's that possibility. I've seen this happen with these companies. And I'm not against it. I'm just saying, let's be ahead of the game on problem solving. If what you get and what goes in the bank doesn't match, who's responsible for taking care of that near you?
I guess the question would be let's ask Steve, how would that handle? Because I wouldn't have the backside of it.
And I wouldn't have,
You would only have
Yeah.
an account that we're depositing into.
so somebody has to be.
Did you hear that, Steve?
So I was having a little difficulty understanding the question.
What is posted, what is posted to be the bond? If it was incorrect going into the bank, who is the one responsible for fixing that?
How does it get fixed?
How does it get fixed?
So when we talk about the bond being deposited into the bank, are we talking about the bond fees, the $15 and $30 county fees?
Yes.
Okay, so that $15 and $30 should be based specifically on the number of charges that they're being bailed out on. So that $15 and $30 is going to match up and be collected and deposited into the bank by midnight of the night that it's, or of the day that it's collected. So the following day, you should be able to run a report to verify the number of bond fees that were deposited in the account.
So I have this issue with the JP's office, and it's not an issue, but yes, they say it's going to post the night of midnight of the day that it happened, but that doesn't necessarily happen. So you have something posting, it happens one day and it posts 2 or 3 days later.
So that would, in my mind, that's a situation where the bank would be the one responsible for the reporting of that deposit. If the money is collected and processed through an ACH or a credit or debit card transaction, that money should be in the account and noted as a deposit for the following day.
Steve, do you do this every day in your job? Do you handle those things? Because that's not how I see it on my end, and I do this every day. Doesn't necessarily happen that way.
So,
And I don't know what happens on the in-between between your side and my side that makes it hit different.
so on our side, when we collect those fees, we're not holding on to them. That transaction is processed and pushed through directly to the account that is designated by the county for the deposit. So whatever account the county wants those bond fees deposited into, we're going to collect that information at the time we're working on the implementation. And then when those fees are collected from the bond agents, they're going to be processed and deposited into that account on that day. Now, whether or not the bank processes their ACHs in
I'm
a
saying
24-hour
this
time
Another
frame.
level to what I have to check every day to make sure that what her report says actually hits the bank account, because it doesn't happen that way. And that probably doesn't have anything to do with e-bonds. It's transactioning through the systems and through the bank system.
Yeah, that's something.
That's, that would be my understanding is so, once we process the fees and they're collected, if there's a lag between the deposit showing in the bank and what's showing actually collected on the reporting that you're running internally, I would say that that would be a situation that we would have to contact the bank and visit with them in order to gain a little clarity on their side as to when they're actually processing those collections of fees from the credit cards and how quickly they're getting them deposited into the county account. Because on our side, the reporting is going to allow you to run a report based on date range for bond fees collected. And then on the other side of it, you'll be able to go in and look at and pull a report from your account that should allow you to reconcile that within 24 hours of those deposits being made. So that's something that I'd be certainly happy to talk with our implementation team about, so that when we come out to the county and we start going through this process, we can identify areas where there might be a lag in information or reporting and see what we can do to work with the bank to try and fix that.
So Steve, if I'm understanding in there, there's multiples accounts that it can go into, correct?
The bond fees are going to be collected and deposited into one account. So the $15 or $30 county fee is going to land in one account. And if that's the way it should be processed now, if you're collecting cash or money orders for those fees from the bond agents, that money's collected and deposited into one singular account, would be my understanding. That's the way all the other counties have run that. Now, cash bonds, that's a separate transaction that goes to the county clerk or district clerk side. And we can assign different account and routing numbers for the cash bond processing. But on the bond fees, those should be collected and deposited into one account.
That's what she's asking, is if the cash bond itself could be deposited elsewhere.
So yes, the cash bond processing and the county bond fees are two totally separate transactions. So we're talking about putting those different eggs into totally different baskets.
That means I'm reconciling two reports every day.
So, yeah, okay.
Now, if the county wants the cash bonds to land into the same account, that's something that we can certainly talk about, but there isn't a county that we've worked with yet that chooses to deposit the cash bond processing into the county bond fee account. They want that going to a separate account because they're going to be processing refunds on cash bonds that are reconciled and completed. When the defendant clears court, the cash bond is going to be refunded to the individual who put it forward.
But what I'm getting from Summer, am I getting this?
One side of the thing is,
Making more work for another side. Okay.
Well, I think the county treasurer's got some very legitimate concerns and questions there.
I'm not against it. It's just,
Well, and again, if we want to deposit the cash bonds into the same account that the county bond fees are going into, when we talk about the processes within the county, that's something we want to try and help streamline and want to help consolidate as much of the work as possible. That's part of what we want to come into the county and do. If depositing those fees into the same account is what you would prefer to do, we're certainly okay with that. And whatever process you'd like to work through on the county side is certainly going to be okay with us. We want to try and facilitate ease of use and reporting. And that's part of why we're so appealing for what we do.
Right now, if an inmate bonds out, the bonding company comes up to the sheriff's department with cash, cashier's check, or money order to bond out. That money is then given to the jailer that's there. Then that money is left on my desk until I come back in. I have to take that money and then I have to bring it to their office. If it's a cashier's or if it's a cash bond, and
We've seen large cash bonds, then it's a cashier's check or money order or cash that's left laying in the office. I come in, I have to then take it to the county attorney's or county clerk's office.
But you're still going to do it with cash bonds this way too.
not physical money at the jail.
That's correct.
Bondsmen and everybody else still has the option to do it the old way too.
Yes. I'm not looking at cutting off the old method.
It's still in the old process still.
Yes.
Yes, this just becomes the preferred way of processing the bond paperwork and the bond fees versus doing it by hand and hand delivering it to the jail and having to handle cash at the jail. The old process doesn't go away. It simply becomes option B in the event that there's an internet outage at the jail or that, you know, a bond office for whatever reason loses internet connectivity. They still have the ability to go in and write the bonds by hand, deliver that paper to the jail, and the jail can still process it that way. It's just not the preferred method moving forward because of the efficiency of what we do through e-bonds.
If bond companies come in and the name is incorrect on the bond, the charge is incorrect on the bond. The jailers are having to look over all of that, send those back out. If it's a bond company that traveled here, a lot of times that bond agent wrote it at their office. So the person that come here isn't the one that fixes that. We then have to send them away to go fix it because it's incorrect. The e-bond system takes the exact charge that's already there in the system from when we book them in and plugs it into those fields. So the handwriting of the bonds is gone. It takes a lot of the issues of incorrect bonds and moves it to where it's exactly what it's supposed to be according to our system.
In this contract, it allows us a termination under this section to within 60 days of written notice. So if we were to do it, we have the ability to get out of it.
For sure. And Commissioner, to that point, in the event that this is a system or process that the county decides isn't beneficial, there's nothing that says, because there's no money changing hands in this contract. There's nothing that says after the 60-day time frame, if this isn't working, if it's causing more problems than it's helping, then you simply shelve it and don't utilize the process and go back to doing it the old way. There's no penalty for not using the e-bonds process moving forward. It's not what we would like, and we would love the opportunity in the event that there is a concern or an issue. We would love the opportunity to address it and try and make it better for the county. But in the event that this is something that the county doesn't want to move forward with, after utilizing it for 3 to 6 months, you simply stop using the process and you go back to doing it the old way. Because there's no financial obligation, there's no monetary exchange in this contract.
I've got to go with what County Treasurer Campbell recommends. I mean, if you think there's any issues or whatever.
I'm just saying, I understand they're trying to streamline it.
Uh-huh.
This is the person that's a sales rep that's not in the building doing it.
Yes.
And I haven't had a conversation. Nobody's come to my office going, how are we gonna work this out on the financial side? It's gonna make things more complicated to reconcile and possibly match up and get everybody paid. If you're depositing in one account, then I've got to pay Sonia for cash bonds. It's just a lot of extra steps. So it's making one side better possibly and one difficult. And so I'm just saying, how are we going to?
Well, how are you currently reconciling those accounts?
Deposited in combined fund.
I'm sorry, I missed the first half of that. The microphone.
Core system connected to my main account, because if something goes wrong, I can't reconcile it. So
I missed the first part of that because the microphone cut out.
Whole nother account.
And then transfer, write a check from there to this, so it's just something else. Then another account I have to reconcile and make sure it's straight every day.
Well, we're not going to be adding any new accounts. We're going to be using the existing accounts the county already utilizes for
I don't have the authorization to tell me where we're going to put the county's money.
I'm sorry?
I don't have the authorization to tell us where we're gonna put the
Oh,
county's
no,
money.
ma'am. These accounts are handled, when we go in and set this up, we're doing this based on the information that you give us for your banking. We're not coming in and designating any accounts for this.
I
We're
don't have.
simply utilizing the existing
I-
banking information you have.
With.
I'm gonna recommend,
Is there any way that we can set up a meeting that with this Genesis and come out and do face to face and go through and answer these questions? Is there any way a rep can come out and answer these questions?
I'd be happy to come back out and have a meeting with y'all to go through what that process would look like for sure.
I'm not ready to move forward myself right now. Now, again, our county treasurer's got some very good legitimate concerns and questions. I think we need to look into.
Just table it and let him come down and meet with our treasurer. That's what you need to do.
And I think somebody from this court needs to also meet along
Yeah.
with Amanda too, so that everybody's on the same playing field.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion on that?
I make a motion that we table this E-bond licensing and service provider agreement until a further meeting can get together face to face.
Okay, motion been made by Commissioner Williams to table this. Second been made by Commissioner Horton. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of tabling, was that number 5 on Genesis E-bond, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. See, we'll get back with you later, bud. Thanks. Number 6, consider an act on the Motorola service agreement for law enforcement center. So this goes back to, getting the Sheriff Poole set up on the new Motorola agreement. And I believe I'm correct that Sam Goldsmith went ahead, and maybe in here, to state that we have to move forward fast. He signed this license agreement for what, $750. We'll bring it to the Commissioner's Court, just let you know what's going on. Was there anything else I needed to add on that part?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It was,
They can explain that better,
but Sheriff Poole, you want to come up and explain that, or Melissa about that agreement?
Hey, Judge, if you want me to talk about it, I can.
Hello, Mr. David.
Hey, Judge, Commissioner.
You popped up on me.
Yeah, so this is related to the WatchGuard server that we've been discussing for the last month or so. It's been having issues. It's 7.5 years old. So what we've done, we've procured a new server to put in place, but we need WatchGuard's assistance to transition the data from the old one to the new one. To do this, we had to get an agreement with them. So basically, the software is under contract. And that's basically what this $750 is a service contract with Motorola for the WatchGuard software.
Everybody hear that? I heard bits and pieces.
I'm sorry.
So they worked on this.
We've run out of space on it a couple of times already.
Yeah. This has to do with the vehicles, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We were aware of this back, I want to say back in September, that they've been working on this.
Okay. Sheriff Poole, anything you need to add, sir?
No,
Melissa?
it's for the in-car videos.
Yeah. Okay. Commissioners, any other questions for anybody? David?
I think that's it.
Motorola service agreement for the law enforcement center.
Second it.
I made the motion, second by Commissioner Wright. Any other discussion on this? All those in favor of approving the Motorola service agreement for the law enforcement center, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. David, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Consider an act on board members for 2024 Mills County Child Welfare Board. Commissioner Williams, come on.
You have that board member list there, and there's a list of names. I do need to strike one name on there. Deb Garza has, elected not to rerun in office, so if y'all will strike her name down, she will take her name off of that. You can see the list there. A few of the new ones is Patty Cook, Jackie Brooks, and I believe I misspelled her name. It's Kyla. It's Kyla. Stevens, also known as Kyla Berry, to some of y'all that have been around for a while. So But this is the list of names that we're gonna go forward with, and once we get this approved, Mike, I got a report for the court. We'll probably do it in the first of January to see that whole report. We're doing a lot right now in December, so I wanted to make sure that you saw that. Get a full view of that, so that's the list of names, and the court needs to approve them. And I will abstain from voting at this time.
Yeah, and you're still, so you got no one then to replace Deb Garza right now, correct?
No. not this time.
Is this enough people, Jason, for you on the?
Yes, sir, we have to have 7, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the, proposed board members that Commissioner Williams has brought to us regarding the 2024 Mills County Child Welfare Board.
I'll second it.
And without, strike without Deb Garza, which is taken off.
It was
Okay, got a
second.
motion here? Who
Yes,
seconded?
second.
Dale, you seconded, a second by Commissioner Parton. Any other comments, discussion? All those in favor of approving the board members for the 2024 Mills County Child Welfare Board, say aye.
Aye.
And we got one abstaining, Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
And Commissioner Williams has abstained from the vote since he's on the board. Moving on, number 8, consider an act on new EMS building. Again, Guy's not here. As we mentioned earlier, the Buster Taylor finished the concrete work. They pulled the forms off. He added dirt around the where the forms were. Guy will also say that it's gonna be after the first year. He is going to be painting the base inside the EMS building. He's gonna wait till after the first year to start that project. I mentioned a flagpole earlier. We need to do some work on the flower bed with some very low zero maintenance items like cactus, whatever. Yucca plants, Commissioner Wright, Commissioner Head.
We sat down and talked about it. We went down like Robert went out and rolled out with Guy about the EMS building, and they had some ideas what they were gonna do. We gotta put a drain in there on the building itself. I think Robert's gonna do that. Then any landscaping I told him I would do. And plus, I'm gonna work with the sheriff's office also to get their sheriff's office fixed up where it washed out.
Okay.
North side of the building where we're gonna clean out and find that drain. Where's that going? Just now.
That's $1 million question. Way Guy kind of said, just kind of right to the road. Mike made a comment about doing a lateral system there. I'll be honest, it's,
City said we didn't have to do anything, so.
well, we gotta uncover it at least.
Yes, we gotta put a-
So, I mean, we either
Drain.
uncover it and bring it down to the pavement part and let it sit there and run that way. I don't, that's. who knows?
Once we dig it up, you can see what we need to do.
And
Of
I
course,
think
we
it's-
could, we could.
Building, I would like that to stay like it is, in case we ever decide to put in a water spout. I think that's where it needs to be.
And where's that again? Say it again, the water
North
side.
side of the building.
North side, yeah.
But they can put something in there right now and then come back later for concrete over it or whatever.
You're saying between the 2 entrances, Dale?
Between, yeah, where your concrete comes around from the parking lot and then your back concrete.
Yeah.
You can just put another concrete slab on the north side of that at some point. So that you can circle in, fill up and pull out.
Okay, so, but the line's not over there. The line's in the back.
You're gonna have to have a separate line. You're gonna have to have a meter with a full
And so dig it over there.
across where the water. I personally, I wouldn't go to any expense of flower beds or stuff like that, or flagpoles until we see what we're gonna do there.
Well, we've been on it so long, Bill. That's the only thing I'm trying to do is get through with it. It's been, what, year or more, and we're still not through with it. And I like to get out of there.
We are.
We are through with it?
Yeah. You gotta fill that, put that drainage in, uncover that and fill in that area.
What you gonna,
Completes the building and the parking. Maybe.
I have visited the city manager, Lindsay, twice about a water hookup there, and I haven't heard back from him yet.
I mean, right now, we're what we're spending, we're already back on taxpayer money, which is what we said we weren't gonna do from the start.
Have you asked the city manager about that fire plug up there towards the highway?
I haven't talked to him about that.
To me, that's, if you're gonna place it somewhere, that's where you put it, just like they have theirs, the city, that we can get to.
You're gonna have to have water meter.
Gotta have a water meter on the
Well,
fire.
you're gonna have to have a water meter anywhere you be. I mean, either end.
But you wouldn't put a water meter on the fire.
Well, they had a meter on it when we built the law enforcement center. So I don't know if it's that hard to put one up there on that fire hydrant,
I
where
can
we can
reach,
hook up to and take off.
I can reach out to City Manager Lindsay again today. See, what he proposes, what we can do on the water meter.
But a lot of that, landscaping, like for the law enforcement center, like all those rocks and stuff like that, they were donated. I mean, we weren't out any money on landscaping.
That's the same thing we're gonna do now.
Except for the crushed granite. And that crushed granite, we did have to go out of the county and go get.
That's cheap, though. I mean,
Yeah.
The one thing that I noticed that over there between the impound yard fence and our parking lot for the EMS, it's already trying to undermine it. So we're gonna need to put that 1 inch rock, or not 1 inch, that 3 or 4 inch rock likes around the EMS, around the law enforcement center, down that whole side, so that when it hits that, it flows off of it and goes through it. So it doesn't undermine our parking.
I've talked with Tex Dot last week. I got with Carlos, and he's going, to me, if we get some of that material and put in there and pack it down, we're through with it. That's what I was planning on trying to do with it. Same time, putting the entrance into the sheriff's office there, where he comes in. I asked about that when we first started doing that project. We didn't get anything done, so I was gonna go ahead and put some
Lost.
milling.
What entrance are you talking about?
The lower gate to the, whatever they call it,
Impound yard?
impound yard.
On the north side?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you was talking about over there.
Oh, and then on the other end, the same way on the other end, which washed out, we're gonna have to do something there also.
Commissioner
I was
Rod,
trying to get it all finished so we wouldn't have to come back, keep coming back, asking.
Well, if we're gonna do that, then we need to be planning on, because it washed out the whole front, and so we need a curb up along the street. So Jet, you can ask the city manager about a curb up there, because you gotta get the water so it's not tearing up the landscape. And this all has to do with that engineer that did not do it, you know.
Commissioner Rod, I think, when I talked to Carlos Reyes last week, their engineer from Austin's coming up, was it
Right.
today, tomorrow?
Today,
Today. Are you gonna meet with them?
I wasn't planning on it, but I can if you want me to.
I'll be glad to meet with them or whatever. I got several things going on, but.
Well,
I'm missing.
Carlos just said he was meeting with the engineer.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
What's that have to do with the EMS?
Well, he's gonna see about what they can do off that, hill, all the water coming down off the hill. See the, Austin, Texas, can do something.
It runs all the way down that fence
Yeah.
line, all the way to the back of the EMS building.
That's done that since we built it. That's not a new,
I know,
we knew that when we built it. That's what I'm saying. And so did the engineer.
yeah, well, he's just gonna see if there's anything, any solutions that we might have to do or state can do.
So what are y'all thinking that we need to do to have that say complete?
Well, you talking about the drainage, we gotta dig it up. But we can either bring it straight down and let it run down there by the pavement, or we can turn the thing and right between the pavement and the concrete and dump it on the backside so it's not flooding anything. And then, I talked to Carlos about patching that. He don't think the grind the mill is probably not gonna stay. Several people said probably not. I talked to Rob, he's supposed to get some cold patch. And he said he'd let me get it in.
No, if you could just put that gravel that we got from Tex Dot.
Carlos said he don't think it's gonna stay there.
Not the millings, our allotted gravel, that gray
I
rock.
doubt it'd stay either, but Rob said he would be willing to, up to a certain amount, let us get some cold patch. And so whenever he gets some of it in, we can do that, and then I'll come through with that cold patch and tie the road and the concrete in.
Big thing is we need to
But
know
we
when
can-
that's gonna be.
We could
because-
run, well, on the drain though, because it's a $1 million question, but when we dig that drain up, we could turn that sucker and run it between the road and concrete, and then let it go out in the weeds. And then I cover it up and then it's out in the water, where they do wash the vehicle. It's dumping down there west side out of our way. And, me personally, I don't really care what happens when it goes down that way.
The flower beds, flower poles, where are they?
North side of the building is what, we talked about one time.
I say throw some grass, I say throw some grass seed down and call it done.
You know, I put black dirt on it.
I don't know any,
Hey, grass grows on the asphalt, so I guess
Okay.
it can grow.
I don't know of any flower beds. I don't know where'd you come up with that? I've never heard
So
of
we're
that.
talking about
He
just
just
a
said
yucca plant or a cactus or something.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have to be.
I don't know about the flower
We
bed.
don't have to do anything with it. The flagpole is gonna possibly be a free deal.
All I'm saying is that to fill that up after he gets the drain, and
Yeah.
put some crushed granite in there and put some landscape, big rocks or something, and be through with it
Is
on
what
that end.
Commissioner Court wants. Sounds good to me. I'm fine with whatever y'all want to do.
Just something just.
If there's a possibility of there being a water spout there, I wouldn't get a lot of.
Yeah.
Fence. Then dig it back up and after it. I might be way off course. Putting water out there.
I got one question, actually. The main water, ain't it on the north side of the road?
Yes.
So if we did a water spigot,
No,
wouldn't,
the water's on the west side of the building, the water line.
but ain't it, you have the EMS building here and water lines on the opposite side of the road, the EMS building, right? Right.
Yes, it is. You're right.
When it follows the north side going all the way up to the sheriff's department or northwest side.
That's correct.
So
Yeah,
if we,
it's on the north side of the Justice Lane.
so if we did a spigot there, we could we could go up EMS building, turn around and
But
have
that
it,
lane,
have the water sitting.
I don't
right
think
there.
that's the one on the back, on the west side of the EMS building is a 6-inch water line. The one that goes up to the law enforcement center is not a 6-inch line.
Okay, one over by Schuster's is 6 inch.
Yes.
Well,
And so if you're wanting more water to fill up these trucks, you're gonna wanna go off of the one in the back.
Well,
I don't know.
it,
That's the line coming out of the that's building, they took that.
Yes, they choked it down to go, off of their tap, they choked down. But we wouldn't have to choke it down to go to that.
so if we tapped into 6 inch, we just take some cleats, build a road down there and build a pad back there behind the EMS where it's between it and the railroad tracks. And be done with it.
Okay. Anything else on EMS building?
First, the city has to approve of the tap.
First,
Yeah.
you gotta approve it.
Well, again, I'll reach out to City Manager Rob Lindsay about a proposed water meter. See, and I'll get back and report on that. Anything else I need to check on the court regarding the new EMS building? Okay, here none, let's go down to number 9, Commissioners request and reports. Commissioner Wright, go ahead.
We got our truck in, we've been blading, we got our belly in. I did meet with the sheriff office and the sheriff about filling that washout. And also working on his, that lower gate down by the EMS building. That's all I have.
Commissioner Head?
We ripped up a couple roads, grounded them, reshaped them and all that. We did 329, 312 and 247 that way. They were very narrow, very deep ditches, very steep. So we ripped them up and reshaped them. As far as like the EMS and the sheriff's department, I realize they are in my precinct. I prefer to, if anything needs to be done there, I don't mind helping. But it'd be nice not to be getting second, fourth hand information. And, I don't need everybody reminding me that they're in my precinct. I know they're in my precinct, but they're not my sole responsibility either. They're community building, countywide, county building. But I don't need y'all reminding me that they're in my precinct. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, Commissioner Parton?
I've been blading over them pretty, fixing to put in on and one of my guys is gonna be out Friday through the end of the year for, to use up his vacation. I'm gonna try to start Monday on our interlocal agreement we've done with Bali. See if we can get them classified for the rest of this year. y'all will remember when I set this up, I had asked other commissioners for some help. Because we do have about 20, 30 miles an hour other than anybody else. So we'll be starting next Monday. Doing them, so if you got some lay-ins, some hollers, whatever. That'll work through the end of the year, but they'll. That's all I got.
Commissioner Williams?
Been working on County Road 416, retopping a big area that was getting some rock out from Benny, far out toward Pretty.
Fox.
Danny Cox, I'm sorry. And, we did a lot of maintenance on the Mack truck when we got it. A lot of work there. Wednesday, Dale and I, Commissioner Hartman and I went to a training in San Angelo that was, a few things were very informative. One thing is that Senate Bill 22 is gonna come back up and they're having an issue with it. So from the state level and stuff like that. So that's not done yet. And, also, I'm kind of like Dale. I got one of my hands Thursday or Wednesday. It'll be his. He worked for half a day on Wednesday and we follow the rest of the year. So, if one of my hands can help you, we can sure work together on that. So, working on 508 today, moving some of that stuff today, the rock crusher. That's it.
Okay, number 10, County Judge's Report. Last week on December 7th, Thursday, Commissioner Wright and I met with Anthony from the Valor Backup Battery System. And right off the bat, they informed us that the project is canceled. Correct, Commissioner Wright?
That is correct.
They said the numbers weren't there right now, so the whole project, as far as we know, has been canceled on the backup battery system, which is going to be 1 mile south of town. The Texas Department of Emergency Management, Miss Holly Ragsdale, we hate to see her go, but she's moved to the Sheriff's Department. And Reese, people have asked me why. I explained to them that you had some security issues, locking some things up that you needed. Plus she's sharing an office with the game warden and the DPS trooper, correct, Holly? So anyway, we'll still see your smiling face quite a bit. Today's the deadline for sign up for election, as I think 6 p.m. today. I think there's 4 or 5 people who've signed up to run for sheriff. And that's all the news I have is right now. Number 11.
Make a motion with adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made by Commissioner Wright to adjourn, followed by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Meeting adjourned. Everybody have a good week. And again, Commissioner Court, leave this